this is crazy.
Yeah.
This guy's 40 years old and still can crack and still as fast as lightning.
He's still got speed that kind of compares to the average or above average speed that's out there today.
Joe Rogan reacts to Manny Pacquiao's shocking training footage at 46. Unbelievable. Joe Rogan has responded to newly surfaced training footage of boxing legend Manny Pacquiao, and he's blown away.
Well, not normal, but he's still like a professional heavyweight boxer. He's still terrible.
46 years old, Pacquiao continues to defy expectations, displaying a level of speed, sharpness, and power that most fighters in their prime struggle to match. Rogan called it unbelievable, remarking,
He's an interesting guy, man, because he's so friendly.
Right.
You know, like even like when people are trash talking, he's like smiling, and then he gets in that ring.
Kick your ass later.
Different fucking dude.
Right.
Once he steps through that ropes, like this is a whole different set of rules he's flying with.
Like Keith Thurman talking about you gonna crucify him and stuff like that, and he just
don't say that. Yeah. Okay.
And got crucified.
Yeah, but he's super
I wish you the best
too.
Good luck in the fight.
how crazy it is that Pacquiao, nearing 50, can still move like a much younger man. He's a whole different man, Rogan said. Manny doesn't rely on trash talk or hype. He proves everything in the ring. Even now, Pacquiao's discipline, humility, and sheer danger make him a force that...
Joe Rogan
that can't be ignored. The brief training clip that caused the stir shows Pacquiao hitting pads with laser focus, snapping off fast combinations with that signature footwork that once haunted elite opponents. Though he's clearly older, there's a spark in his rhythm, a flash of the explosive style that made him a living legend. Rogan, a longtime admirer of Pacquiao, praised his legendary career, especially his unmatched achievement of winning world titles in 8 different weight divisions.
This boxer, maybe in my generation, Manny Pacquiao, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Destroyer.
Manny Pacquiao. He
Fucking just
won
a
world
destroyer.
titles in 8 different weight classes. Who the fuck does that?
And the way he did it, like I'm a huge fan of Cotto. I love this school. And the way that he beat Cotto, I didn't think nobody could ever do that to him. It was just like, bro, what the fuck?
Well, his legs. Manny's legs are like tree trunks.
Yeah. And the
It's
hand
crazy.
speed, the power.
Speed, everything.
I just always wish that the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight would have took place many, many years before than when it did, you know?
Well, it also took place and Manny went into the fight with a fucked up shoulder. I mean, he knew his shoulder was fucked before that fight and just wanted that money and just let's see what happens.
Rogan highlighted how rare such a feat is, noting not just the titles but the blazing speed and agility Pacquiao displayed, particularly impressive for a fighter of his size. He famously compared Pacquiao's legs to tanks, pointing out the raw power and relentless endurance they provide. Rogan also reflected on the long-speculated dream match between Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather.
Great fights never take place, or they take place too late, like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. They fought too late. I mean, if that fight could have been arranged by Riyadh Season, they probably would have caught them both in their prime, and it would have been chaos.
Yeah, Manny was dying before that.
Yeah, and he also had a blown shoulder going into the fight.
Yeah.
He needed shoulder surgery.
Had it happened earlier in their primes. He believes such a clash would have broken the internet, captivated global fans, and gone down as one of the biggest events in sports history. Pacquiao is more than just a boxer, Rogan said. He's a cultural phenomenon. Adding to the analysis, boxing analyst Ryan Campbell offered his insight on
8-division world champion. He'll be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame next month. And then in July, BC, he's going to come out of retirement. Why now?
By the way, between those two dates, I believe he has an election coming up for a Senate position in the Philippines. So we always know that Manny is a busy man. He gets after it. He also dares to be great. And this is wild news. Look, in the boxing underground rumor mill, this had been floating around for a couple months. We just didn't know if it was going to be for real. Was Manny really going to commit to not just coming back after 4 years away, after just one fight in the last 6 years at age 46, but to come back directly into a title fight against a young, in his prime, active champion in Mario Barrios? It's interesting theater, to say the least. It's a pay-per-view main event, reportedly for July 19th. And we know Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds are certainly against him, but there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around.
Yep.
People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. You just got to kind of figure out, is this for real? Is he going to be for real? Or are we going to send him into a physical, violent retirement?
Pacquiao's unexpected return to the ring at age 46. He acknowledged the steep challenge of facing a younger, hungry fighter like Mario Barrios, but pointed to history, such as George Foreman's famous comeback, to remind fans that age isn't always the deciding factor in boxing. Campbell evaluated Pacquiao's current physical form, noting that while the Filipino icon is past his prime, he still possesses above-average speed and footwork compared to today's welterweights. His explosiveness may have dipped, Campbell said, but his hand speed and instincts still give him an edge over many. As Pacquiao prepares for his comeback, the boxing world is divided.
Manny Pacquiao against Mario Barrios fight is signed, done for July of 2025. Pacquiao is 46 years old. We haven't seen him in the ring in years. Are you cool with Pacquiao against Mario Barrios?
If I was cool with Manny Pacquiao coming back and fighting Keith Thurman, I'm definitely going to be cool with this one. Barrios is not a puncher. Thurman was one of the biggest punchers in boxing. I think he's going to be just fine.
If Pacquiao wants to come back as a Hall of Famer and fight one more time, whatever. He didn't look good against Yordenis Ugas, and that was 5 years ago. We've seen him in these exhibitions looking fleshy, to say the least. It's meaningless because if Barrios wins, he's never going to fight a Boots Ennis. If Pacquiao wins, he's not going to fight anybody ever again. So I'm kind of indifferent.
Believe his elite ring IQ and timing will carry him through, while others remain skeptical, citing the performance in his last fight over 5 years ago, a bout that showed signs of decline. Still, whether it's one last chapter or a full-blown comeback, Pacquiao's presence in the ring continues to stir excitement. He's not just fighting time, he's challenging the limits of what a legend can still.
Basically, your interpretation is that the boxing public is upset because they believe Pacquiao's going to beat Barrios, which is going to lead to a Tank Pacquiao fight?
Yes, look around. Look in the Discord. That's what everybody, Pac and Tank, that's being set up.
Oh,
Tank
so,
and Pac.
okay, so they saying Barrios is the setup for Tank and Pac. I didn't see that, but your argument makes sense. If he beats Barrios, there's nothing wrong with him fighting Tank. But the issue is he don't deserve the Barrios fight off of 3 years off and a loss to Ugas.
And that's Crimea River, man. That's what boxing is. But longer deserve a Canelo fight.
Gervonta Tank Davis has a 6 to 7 fight deal with the PBC and Amazon for $200 million. That's like $30 million a fight. All right. He also has a fight date for November. El Rayo team has said they're not fighting this year, so he's not the guy. So the question is, who is the guy who is willing to fight Tank by November and could build the fight into a fight worth $30 million? Y'all must be out y'all minds if y'all think that Manny Pacquiao versus Gervonta Tank Davis isn't a huge fight. That'll probably be his biggest fight ever. Y'all know that's a big fight because The boxing fan today, they know Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez. That's who.
Would you like this reformatted as a script, YouTube video description, or social media post as well? Certainly. Here's a clean, engaging, and professional rewrite of your detailed passage about Manny Pacquiao's comeback, with improved structure and readability, while preserving...
Dr. News told Onto Your Gloves, boxing fans, the rumors are true. Manny Pacquiao is stepping back into the ring. At 46 years old, the Filipino legend is taking on WBC welterweight champ Mario Barrios this July. But here's the kicker. Pacquiao's first world title was as a flyweight, and now he wants to retire as the WBC welterweight champ. Talk about a career comeback, but can the Pac-Man turn back time? He hasn't been in top form lately, while Barrios is coming off a tough draw. Will Pacquiao's experience triumph over youth, or is this one fight too far? Either way, July is shaping up to be an explosive month for boxing. Pacquiao's rolling the dice one last time. Will he make history as the oldest welterweight champ ever? Get ready for a showdown that'll have you on the edge of your seat.
All key points. Manny Pacquiao's comeback, a legacy on the line. As Manny Pacquiao steps back into the boxing ring at age 46, the world watches with a mix of hope and concern. His return brings renewed excitement, but
Pacquiao to do some any fighter to do incredible stuff, I will bet that Manny Pacquiao will be the guy, and that's why he's one of the GOATs of the sport of boxing, or probably the GOAT, arguably. All right, Manny Pacquiao could beat Mario Barrios. Now, Mario Barrios is good. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to, devalue Mario Barrios, but Manny Pacquiao is just a special fighter, special human being, a freak of nature. All right. I do, and like I said in the beginning, if these guys could do it, I believe that Manny Pacquiao could do it. He lives a wholesome life. He lives a sober life. He doesn't party around and stuff like that unless he's with the wife. He's a family man. He's a God-fearing man. And look, just like George Foreman was a God-fearing man who was living a clean life and stuff.
Also questions about whether the legendary fighter can recapture his former dominance. This tension reflects the delicate balance between respect for his unmatched legacy and realistic expectations of his current form. Speculation is running high that Pacquiao's upcoming bout with Mario Barrios is only the beginning of a larger comeback plan.
They presented us, with this opportunity, and he said, you know what, I'll bite down for it one more time. And then from there, obviously we had a tough loss, but it was a competitive fight. And his first fight at 147 pounds, he goes on and takes on Keith Thurman. No tune-ups, no getting used to the thing. Goes at that point is about as good as you can get in the division, and took on that. So he takes on all comers, all challenges. His first world title against Batirov, the Russian, is about as tough as you could have done at the time. And so I think he's earned the right now to be in the biggest, best possible fights. And now it's going to be up to Al Heyman and Louis DeCubas Jr. on what they see is best and fit for his career, whether that's, Pacquiao, Spence, if that's a unification with Boots Ennis, that'll be up to them.
Rumors suggest that if he secures a victory, it could pave the way for a massive showdown with Gervonta Tank Davis. Insiders believe Barrios was carefully chosen, a winnable challenge meant to rebuild momentum and create buzz for an even bigger fight. This kind of strategic matchmaking is common in boxing, especially for returning icons whose initial bouts serve as tests.
We have Sean Gibbons here, Manny Pacquiao's right-hand man, advisor, head of MP Promotions. Sean, I know you spent a lot of time with Manny Pacquiao over recent weeks and months. There's a lot of conversations about Manny's comeback. What is the latest that you could offer and the update around the potential matchup with Mario Barrios?
Well, the latest is Manny's fighting an exhibition on 28th in Japan. So, you don't want to really look past that. But if he's successful there, Mario Barrios. We've talked about Conor Ben, which I believe was a great fight. That would have been a tremendous fight. We could have done it in England. We could have done it in the U.S. We could have done it in Riyadh season. But the fact that he wasn't able to come off the suspension, that put the brakes on that. So that brought us to Mario Barrios. He's the WBC world champion. Manny's first belt ever, many years ago, was a WBC belt. So I think it would have been a great story and a very winnable fight.
Of their remaining capabilities. One of the most symbolic aspects of Pacquiao's return is his pursuit of the WBC welterweight title. the same organization that awarded him his first world championship early in his career. This full-circle moment adds emotional weight to the narrative, turning this fight into more than just a comeback. It's a quest to reclaim a piece of his history. Many experts...
Boxing legend Manny Pacquiao leads ESPN's list of top 25 Asian athletes of the 21st century. The 8th Division World Boxing champ bested the likes of Chinese basketball icon Yao Ming and Japanese baseball superstar Ichiro Suzuki, who finished second and third respectively. Completing the top 5 are Korean football star Song Hong-min and Japanese-American Naomi Osaka. Also making the list, the Philippines' first ever Olympic gold medal winner, weightlifter Heidelin Diaz, and the PBA's 7-time PBA MVP, Junmar Fajardo.
The office of the vice president confirms Sara Duterte is abroad on a personal...
And fans remain optimistic, pointing to Pacquiao's legendary resume, which includes victories over some of boxing's greatest names. They argue that even at 46, he still possesses enough speed, ring IQ, and experience to defeat Barrios. A win would not only enhance his legacy, but also silence critics who doubt whether he still belongs among the sport's elite. Pacquiao and his team are treating this fight with utmost seriousness. Barrios' coach has publicly stated that their camp is preparing as if they are
15. Remember that one. Pacquiao is now planning to run for president in his native Philippines this upcoming May. But Shannon, how will you remember Manny as a boxer?
Historically great fighter.
Good for you.
The only fighter to win 8 world titles. I mean, Skip, he started out boxing, he was 106 pounds, won a title at, I think, 112, and went all the way up to
108 first.
Went all the way up to 154.
It's impossible. It's just...
I don't believe, I feel very comfortable and said I don't believe we'll ever see that again, Skip.
We'll never see it again.
And it wasn't like he was fighting bums. When you go back and look at Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales and Oscar Larios and De La Hoya and Hatton and Cotto, Margarita, Mosley, Timothy Bradley, Mayweather, Skip, I mean, what do you got to say? He was a champion in 4 different decades.
Yep.
Fighter of the year. First ballot Hall of Fame. He's great. He fought everybody. Whenever.
Facing Pacquiao in his prime, an indication of the respect still commanded by the Filipino icon. Barrios himself is known for his resilience and hunger, which sets the stage for a high-stakes, potentially explosive matchup. Sean Gibbons. Pacquiao's longtime advisor emphasized the purposeful choice of Barrios as an opponent. Barrios currently holds the WBC title, making the fight more than just personal. It's symbolic. Gibbons noted that reclaiming this belt would...
WBC President Mauricio Suleiman has said Mario Barrios will face Manny Pacquiao this July. That's some crazy shit, bro. That's some crazy news. Manny Pacquiao is 46 years of age. He's making his return to the ring. And he said he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to finish his career as a champion. That's some crazy shit. Manny Pacquiao's professional record currently stands at 62 wins. 39 of those coming via knockout, 8 losses and 2 draws. Manny Pacquiao has one of the most impressive CVs in the sport of boxing. Just take a look at from 09 Ricky Hatton all the way up until here. There's so many names: Timothy Bradley, Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Joshua Cloteley, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, Jesse Vargas. Like, there's so many names on this list. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at Mario Barrios' record. 29 wins, 18 of those coming via knockout, 2 losses and 1 draw on his resume. What do I make of this fight? I don't know, you know. I mean, listen, this is a young man's sport. I ask myself, Manny Pacquiao, why do you want to come back and fight a younger fighter? You know what I mean? Mario Barrios, who is the current champion, the WBC champion. Why? What have you got to prove? You've proven everything throughout your career. So I don't know what to say, but anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and watch a clip of the president of WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, talk about this.
As of now, Mario Barrios is the WBC champion, so who is he mandated to fight next? Do you have made that decision yet?
Well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July. He wants to retire as WBC champion, so he's fighting in the welterweight division.
Why does he come out of retirement and get a WBC title shot in his first fight?
Because it's something that WBC has respected. Sugar Ray Leonard was retired 4 years when he requested to fight Marvin Hagler and defeated Hagler. So we do have that provision in the rules. A legendary champion with the credentials such as Manny Pacquiao. He has been medically cleared, licensed by Nevada, so we have voted in favor to allow that.